On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Didn't have no sexual orientation. Nobody know where Big Bird, and then we didn't care. Nowadays, they putting draws on him and giving him penis.
I thought he was a dude.
Sesame Street, like Big Bird. I thought it was a bird.
Care, though.
I never knew it had a gender. I thought it was a bird. Like as a child, I just feel like what Logic is saying is that.
Got a new voice.
I'm trying to push out from this one, y'all.
Well, just last little thing, all I was gonna say is that I think Logic's right. Wow, I think Logic's right in the fact that like the children are being corrupted sooner. Like these are not conversations that should even be being had at the age where kids are watching Sesame Street and Barney. But like modern day cartoons are interjecting that conversation into a time frame. It just shouldn't be. Those are conversations for when they're older, and they just shouldn't even be discussed or even implied in any way. And it's just not like that anymore. But go ahead, JR. Sorry.
All right.
I wasn't watching two men kissing and all that extra stuff and all the extra sexual stuff on TV. Like, but now it's like what wasn't a norm back then, they're pushing it to be a norm.
Yeah.
Why are these little toys dressing up as these little man toys dressing up as women, little girls, like in shows and movies, and now they're having these diverse dolls and stuff. Like, where was that? I wasn't back then. I mean, I didn't grow up like that.
Well, they're blatant now. I feel like back in the day, like Barney, all the characters were like ambiguous. It was like, is this a man? Is this a woman? Nobody really defined it because it was like a character. I never knew what gender Barney is. What gender is Barney? I still don't know, to be quite honest. And even like Big Bird, like a lot of the
dinosaur,
right? So they weren't real. So they didn't have like everything. It wasn't focused on gender at that time because it was a bird, it was a dinosaur, it was a dog. No one was focusing on, is it a man? Is it a woman? So now everything is so woke, I guess, that all the characters are doing like different things. I don't know. They're no longer like animals and stuff. They're people.
Well,
I don't
drag queens.
Look, Big Bird, Barney, all these niggas didn't wear no drawers. So they was nothing.
They didn't wear no clothes. They was naked. They was a dinosaur and a bird. They don't wear clothes.
That's what I'm saying. They had no sexual. See, we all fucked up in the head. They had nothing.
What about Nemo?
But I'm not just directing you, baby. Looking between Barney and leg. You didn't see no penis. You didn't see no vagina. He had nothing because there was no need for him to have something, right? Like I said, we're adults. We're making this a bigger issue than it is. Some crazy motherfuckers was born that goddamn was obsessed with Barney. Then they did all this crazy shit. And then now, for us to consider the big picture, it's not affecting us. It's bigger shit going on in the world right now, like the pipeline that they just blew up. I can name a gazillion things that's way bigger.
Well, but there's a shift in that type of content. When you look at old school Sesame Street, most of it was about teaching kids how to read, teaching kids how to count, things of that nature. When they introduced Elmo and people and characters like Barney, it was mostly about feeling. That's where it went wrong, where they started trying to, create emotional intelligence, where it's like, oh, we want to teach the kids how to feel instead of teaching the kids how to count, instead of teaching them, regular skills. They want to teach them how to think and how to feel. That's when it went off the rails. That's when it started becoming BS.
Can I say something to Logic? Logic, you say that it doesn't affect us, but this does speak on the culture a lot, and that does affect you. And if you have kids, what they're going to be seeing and how they're going to grow up. No?
You say it's going to affect, so you saying Barney would affect my kids. You know what? Let's be honest. My kids can watch Barney.
No, not.
Oh, do you mean this documentary?
What they're speaking about the culture, about the influence on our children. And that is important to the culture.
Barney didn't speak about none of this, man.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to make it seem like it's something.
No, this is some nigga grown shit. Barney didn't speak about shit. Big Bird didn't speak about shit. I mean, if you want to be honest, like they try to make all these Disney cartoons to be something, but I watch Popeye the Sailor Man. I watched all these different things. And guess what? I didn't catch none of it. Maybe I wasn't corrupted as a young man. I didn't see none of this shit. They're making these scenarios. If you look at it, we can watch cartoons 1,000,000 times. And then now they will bring it up about how Dora the Explorer opened her legs. And then one then in between it, this is what people is doing. The cartoons originators did. I mean, I'm just being honest. This is the stories they doing. They're making this an issue when it's not even an issue. It's innocent cartoons for the most part. Well, now they say Popeye the Sailor Man go get canceled because he hit olive oil upside the head. What? Bitch need to get hit upside the head. She was
cartoon.
It's
olive oil?
But we watched it and then we didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
But now people that's taking this and they're corrupting these things and they're making you think, oh, let me look in between Dora the Explorer leg. Oh, why did Barney not have a penis or a vagina?
Well, here's the thing, Logic. It goes back to what I said about parents raising their kids. Like, we grew up watching Tom and Jerry just decimate each other, but that didn't make us super violent because we got our ass whooped. We still got in trouble when we did stuff. So if we attempted to do something we saw on a cartoon, we would get disciplined. Nowadays, when kids is watching cartoons, they're not getting the same discipline and guidance in most households. So they're being taught strictly by what they're watching on TV. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if they watch Adult Swim, then that's your fault as a parent. Yeah. That's why you're gonna see the crazy shit. Mm-hmm. Watch what Cartoon Network. Like, watch that. Then you're gonna see some crazy shit. But for the most part, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Popeye the Sailor Man, like all these different things they coming up with. These people that's making this up, they making this an issue, and then they make it an issue because for the most part, they trying to now, all these characters like Big Bird didn't have no sexual orientation. Nobody know where Big Bird, and then we didn't care. Nowadays, they putting draws on him and giving him penis.
I thought he was a dude.
Sesame Street like Big Bird?
But
it was a bird.
Care, though.
I never knew it had a gender. I thought it was a bird. Like, as a child, I just feel like what Logic is saying is that
got a new voice.
I'm gonna try to push out from this one, y'all.
Well, just last little thing, all I was gonna say is that I think Logic's right. Wow, I think Logic's right in the fact that like the children are being corrupted sooner. Like, these are not conversations that should even be being had at the age where kids are watching Sesame Street and Barney. But like modern day cartoons are interjecting that conversation into a time frame it just shouldn't be. Those are conversations for when they're older, and they just shouldn't even be discussed or even implied in any way. And it's just not like that anymore. But go ahead, JR. Sorry.
All right.